every single other politician attacking Pauline Hanson and her party. Every news organisation attacking One Nation and their party. Yet us Australians spoke up, and now we're becoming the second opposition party in Australia in just a few short months. So don't let anyone, say it's not a big deal. It's a massive deal, and they're shitting themselves. They have to work with One Nation now. They have to get One Nation to approve their bills now. And it's only going to snowball in all the other states more and more as more Australians wake up. G'day everyone, welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for everyone who joined the live stream last night. It was ecstatic watching the election results for South Australia, One Nation's first real test. Let's break it down. Let's talk about what this means. Let's see what's happening in Australia and the outcome of this. I know you've probably seen all over your social feeds, oh, One Nation didn't do as good as you thought. One Nation wasn't as good. One Nation is failing. That's what, the ABC and all this rubbish is saying. But they don't realize this is one of the biggest wins and biggest signs that they are done for with these two-tier party systems, the uni party, because One Nation is beating the Liberal Party. That is massive news. That was the goal we wanted. We wanted to show that the people online doing these polls, people speaking up for One Nation, people like us in our community speaking up isn't just all hot air. It actually translates to votes. It's translating to votes. I'm going to explain how that all works, what's going on. And we just took on the two uni parties where they get help from all the other little parties. Labor gets all the votes sent to them, and we still come through and beat the Liberal Party. And there's still going to be much more the next few days as they count the votes, but it's looking really good at this stage. So it's looking like One Nation has secured 3 seats in the upper house, which is absolutely massive. Congratulations to Corey also getting his upper house seat. That's amazing to see. It's so good to see out there that One Nation is coming through. We're getting seats. These seats are so important because that is how you stop the radical Labor bills. Stop them passing their laws, and you can, amend them, change them to how we want, what the normal common sense Australian wants to vote for. So having these seats in Parliament stops them in their tracks being able to, pass through speech bills overnight. Stuff like that, now we have a voice to stop. Like here, this is going to make such a big difference. So, overnight, if they try to say, we want to silence Australian speech to protect them, but then not attack any radicals, just say far-right Australians are to blame, they can stop them bills now. They can have a voice, more of a voice anyway. The Greens did absolutely shit. So that is one of the beautiful things. People are waking up to them, at least on both sides. The Greens are completely done. Everyone knows net zero is a scam. Everyone knows, only supporting people from overseas is a scam. It's just destroying our culture, destroying every Australian. So thank you all, Labor and One Nation and Liberal voters, for waking up to them. That is one of the best things I've seen over everything. I don't know how Peter Manalaskis won again. I don't know how he has so much support. All I see him is speaking about how he wants to flood the country with immigrants to wipe his ass.
My message to One Nation voters is, who's going to feed you and bathe you and wipe your bum when you're 90? Right? Because it ain't going to be your kids. Because if I get my way, they're going to be working on submarines. With high-paying jobs so they can afford to own their home. That has to be built by someone. And who's going to do that work?
It's not a really good look to me. I don't know why anyone would vote for him, but, he's got so much support. People love him. Good on him. I mean, like I said, they've only got 38% of the vote at the moment, so it's not like it's the majority. One Nation's nearly on 22%. So that's massive, beating the Liberal Party. Now they are the second opposition party. And people think this isn't a big deal, but this is a massive deal. This is huge. Because what this means is, pretty much since Bondi Beach is when One Nation started getting major traction. Because it really snapped people's minds to say, okay, what the Labor and the Liberal government are doing to us is destroying our country, destroying everything, making us unsafe. Look at the crime going on. I cannot wait for the Melbourne election here to absolutely smash it with One Nation, because you know what's going on with the crime here. How could you vote for the Labor Party? And obviously Jacinda Allen's going to get fired. They're going to have someone else new in. She's saying that's not going to happen. If you don't think that's going to happen, Jacinda, and you're actually serious thinking that's not going to happen, you're working for the wrong party. So the biggest news is we have become the second opposition party in just a few months since Bondi. That's how much traction we've gotten alone, just from word of mouth, not having, every single other news agency like ABC News, 9 News, 7 News, all supporting your parties, attacking One Nation. Every single other party was attacking One Nation non-stop. You saw them attacking them over and over again. You'd have the Liberal Party, the National Party, the Labor Party, the Greens Party, of course, every single other politician attacking Pauline Hanson and her party. Every news organisation attacking One Nation and that party. Yet us Australians spoke up, and now we're becoming the second opposition party in Australia in just a few short months. So don't let anyone, say it's not a big deal. It's a massive deal, and they're shitting themselves. And on all the mainstream medias, they're trying to play it down like it isn't a big deal. One Nation didn't win, so they've got no momentum. They probably were hoping we didn't get any seats, and now we're the second leading opposition party. They are shitting themselves. They have to work with One Nation now. They have to get One Nation to approve their bills now. And it's only going to snowball in all the other states more and more as more Australians wake up to the cost of living crisis, the housing crisis, the immigration crisis, everything, the culture crisis, the crime crisis. Everything's a crisis under Labor. I don't know how people haven't woken up and realised that we cannot keep voting for them. They're not going to help you. Obviously, they got 38% of the votes, but a lot of the little parties give their votes, like the Greens and everything, to Labor. So people need to learn how to do preference voting. Don't just vote for, put One Nation and then put someone else who has nothing to do with anything, because then their votes are probably going to go to the Labor Party. You got to put it in the order that is suggested by One Nation, because then they will get the actual votes and support. But, that's half a corrupt system of how Labor stays in power. Obviously, they might have 30% of imported votes, how many people they've let in. We all know that. The benefits, the NDIS scam. We don't need to keep going into that. But regardless, this is a massive win. It's going to keep unveiling. We'll see how many more seats come up, lower house, upper house. You need lower house to form government. I know, but it doesn't matter because we have upper house. We can block bills, we can pass bills, we can amend bills now, have a voice in Parliament for common sense Australians. That is what they didn't want. That is what they didn't want to happen, and it's happening in only a short few months. So wait till the other states come up. It's going to be massive. It's going to be absolutely huge. So make sure you go and watch all the speeches and everything from One Nation, Corey, Pauline Hanson celebrating. But this clip, we're watching the live stream last night. It was hilarious. I normally live stream around 7:30, 8:30. So make sure you join if you want to have some fun with the Australian message. But this was really funny. Channel 7 News, when Pauline Hanson was out there saying Peter was scared of him when she confronted him about wiping immigrants should wipe his ass comment, that he was intimidated, and Channel 7 News quickly cut away let's not let Pauline Hanson show that they're a threat to the Labor Party.
In the state, all the rest of it, what did that tell you about what they are thinking might happen tonight?
He's nervous about One Nation. Okay, it's the first time when I confronted him, he had this nervousness about him. He didn't know how to sort of deal with me. The first time I've met the man.
He would have said.
Cut back to the studio. They weren't cutting back to the studio at all. As soon as Pauline Hanson's going out there saying Peter was scared of me, he was intimidated. They're intimidated by One Nation. Cut away from there. We can't let people know that One Nation is coming up and making an impact. But anyway, like I said, amazing news. The Green Party's gone to shit. The Uni Party is collapsing. Liberal Party have no support. One Nation's coming through. They're coming up. They've got the upper house seats. They're going to stop bills. They're going to have a voice for Australians in Parliament. They didn't want that. It's a huge step forward. It shows you that it wasn't all talk. It shows you that we are here. We are here to stick up for Australia. It's all come out now. The votes are there. They are scared now because people are making a change. And even knowing they've got all the mass media, they've got all the other parties bagging One Nation, and then they obviously use all the other little parties to give Labor the votes. One Nation is still now winning the second preferred party. It's huge. It's absolutely massive. So I know they're scared, and it's only going to snowball more and more as Labor continue to fail. So make sure you follow this channel for me to expose it all and keep sticking up for what is right for Australia. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, join to be a member if you want to show some extra support. It means a lot to me, and get these videos early, and I'll see you in the next one. What was also a hilarious clip, Peter was like, Pauline Hanson's going to go back to Queensland, but I'm going to be here in South Australia.
Whatever the result of the election is, I'll wake up in South Australia. Pauline Hanson will be in Queensland. And the people of this state have a choice to make. Who do they want to lead their government that will fight for this state and them? Whatever the...
Well, your Prime Minister is in Canberra. But guess what? You're not running against Pauline Hanson. You were running against Corey. So what are you talking about? This is one of the stupidest comments. How dumb a Labor vote is.